A guten Erev Shabbos and a happy Chanukah, my dear friends. Shabbos Vayeishev. We light the Shabbat candles today here in Brooklyn at 4:11. But before the Shabbat candles, we light the Chanukah candles. Today we light the second candle, the two candles. And the Frierdiker Rebbe tells us that those flames of the Chanukah candles are telling us a story. And we should listen to the story. One of the things, what is interesting about this Chanukah menorah, we see it has the 8 branches, 8 candles, plus the shamash. Of course, we do it to remember the miracle of the 8 days of the menorah that was lit in the temple. The temple menorah, of course, had 7 candles. As you can see here, this represents somewhat the temple, the menorah temple with 7 candles, 7 branches. How come we have 8? Yes, of course, like we said, it was for the miracle of the 8 days, but there is something deeper behind it, of course. You see, the number 7 represents the nature, 7 days in the week. God created the world in a natural way. Everything works according to nature. Within the nature, we have the Shabbos, which elevates the world to a higher level. The number 8 represents something which is really totally outside of the nature, above the nature. The Jewish people recognized that the holiness of the Torah lifts us up above the nature. The miracle of the oil was because the Jewish people wanted to light the menorah with pure oil. At that time, the Greeks, they were very intelligent people. They appreciate intellect, they appreciated the wisdom, the logic of the Torah, the culture. All of this was not a problem for them. What was the problem for them is the claim that the Jew says that the Torah is something which comes from God. It's a godly wisdom. You see, we drive the car, the Tesla, named after Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was a great innovator, a great scientist, but they say that he could not use a screwdriver. And that is understood because wisdom has its limits, and that everyone understands. You can be wise in one way and not so wise in other areas. The wisdom of the Torah, the godly wisdom, we understand that this is something which is above logic. It is above limitations. When we study the Torah and outside the Torah looks like a logical book, it makes sense. We use our brain to understand the Torah and the depth of the Torah. But before we study the Torah, we say the bracha, we give thanks to Hashem for giving us the Torah. That the Torah is a gift of God Himself, putting Himself, His holiness into the Torah. And that is what the Greeks were totally against. They were fighting against this. But the Jewish people, when they went beyond the nature, and they said that we are not going to allow anyone to stop us from our deep connection with Hashem. This is when the miracle happened. This is when Hashem showed the people that I'm going to show you the miracle, that the light of the menorah would light for 8 days, representing the power, the number 8, which comes from above the nature. This is also, when we say the bracha, the blessing, when we light the candles, the first night we say, of course, 3 blessings, and then every other night we say 2 blessings. The one blessing is thanking Hashem for giving us the mitzvah, lahadlik ner Chanukah, to light the candle of Chanukah. And the second blessing is thanking Hashem for the miracles. She'asa nisim laviseinu bayamim haim bizman hazeh. Thanking Hashem for giving us, making miracles to our ancestors in those days and this time. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe says, how does it make sense, this statement? Is it those days and this time? What does it mean, this time? Of course, simply it means that in those days, the time of the temple, in this time of the calendar, and the 25th day of Kislev, that's when the miracle happened. But the Rebbe says more than that. that within this prayer, within this praise, that we thank Hashem, by Yamim Ahem, in those days, it is also Bizman Hazeh. Hashem is doing the miracles also in this time. By the very fact of praising Hashem for those miracles, of showing us the number 8, it will be Bizman Hazeh. In this time, we all need miracles now. The miracles of our brothers and sisters in Eretz Israel, especially the soldiers who are fighting in the war, they should be protected. The hostages should return. But most, and the main thing, it should be the greatest miracle of the coming of Mashiach. It should be very soon. Have a wonderful Shabbos and happy Chanukah. Make sure to light the Chanukah candles. Make sure to light the Shabbos candles. Make sure to put on tefillin today. And make sure to share the light with friends. Make sure as many people you're able to bring into this celebration of the holiday of Chanukah with lighting the candles and telling the story of Chanukah. Have a good Shabbos and happy Chanukah.